Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. It's taken me a few years to talk about this. In fact, there was a time when I considered never, ever telling another soul about this. But there were other people involved, other players in the game, so to speak. So I decided to share this experience with Dr. Lester and Blackwater Media, and therefore with the general public. 20 years ago, I was a U.S. Forest Service Ranger working in the southeastern United States in what's called Region 8. You see, national forest lands are divided up administratively into regions, and each region has a special agent in charge. This special agent was my immediate commanding officer. Essentially, as a ranger, my job was to enforce federal laws and regulations that govern national forest lands and resources. In my time with the service, I thought I'd seen it all. Wildfires, timber thefts, amazing archaeological finds, the whole 9 yards. But nothing could have prepared me for what was to come behind a missing persons call that came in just after noon on a Wednesday in late September of that year. A man, Richard Pennings, who I learned later ran a decent-sized contracting firm out of Memphis, hadn't been heard from in 4 or 5 days and had been due back in his office that Monday. He kept a cabin up near Black Rock Springs, so I signed off on the call, got my jacket, into the truck, and I was off. As I drove along, I noticed how amazing the landscape was. Everything was taking on the sights and scents of autumn. It took about 20 minutes to get to the cabin, which I accessed on a 75-yard gravel and dirt driveway. From the moment I stepped out of the truck, I knew that something was wrong. The air seemed heavy and thick with something that I find almost impossible to describe. It was beyond surreal. I started walking the perimeter of the cabin and checked the crawl space. I even backed up and looked at the roof. All of this I did, mind you, with my hand on my weapon the whole time. I attempted to enter the cabin, but the door was locked. Or at least that's what I thought at first. The knob, which was actually like a lever, wouldn't budge. That's when I noticed the door frame. The door had somehow been removed from its frame and then jammed back in place with incredible force. The windows of the cabin were too small for me to get through, so I knew that I was going to have to get that damn door down. I took the gooseneck crowbar from the tool bin in the truck and went to work. I was able to take the crowbar and wedge it into the uneven little gaps of space between the door and the damaged frame. As much power as it must have taken to do what someone had apparently done, I didn't have too much trouble getting the door down. Then the nightmare began. If you're enjoying this story and would like to hear it to its conclusion, go on over to blackwatermedia.net and click on the menu tab that says Become a Swamp Hunter Society member. And for only $4.99 per month, you can have access to the finest, most entertaining, thrilling, and exciting paranormal, supernatural, and horror story narration available. Explore an amazing universe of monsters, nightmares, and all manner of terror and creeping shadows with your Blackwater Media Swamp Hunter Society membership. Get it today.